Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Long time no speak. I know it has been a while since we chatted, I know. But I am doing a new little series, very tiny series here on my channel. It is my wedding slash elopement diaries. I am very excited. I am getting married very soon, within less than 2 weeks. So I will have a whole video just kind of catching up and a life update. I'm not sure if it's going to be up for this video or after, but either way I will have it linked in the cards and down below. So today I'm doing a video all about fragrance, which is probably one of my favorite things to talk about. You guys know I love perfume. I actually have a sick obsession with perfume. It's really bad. I think this year I purchased 4 perfumes already, so it's pretty sick. I knew after I got engaged, I was like, when I first thought about what am I gonna wear, immediately up there was what fragrance am I gonna wear. Like myself and a lot of other people, I associate, I've been getting that word a little bit mixed up today. I correlate scents with memories. There are a lot of fragrances that I cannot wear anymore because they have bad memories, or whenever I smell them, I just think of all the good times that I had. And I knew I wanted a brand new fragrance for my wedding day slash weekend. I didn't want to wear anything that I currently owned because I already have memories with those scents. So I knew I wanted a new scent for that day. And I reached out to Twisted Lily and they were kind enough to send me a ton of samples. You guys can see I have them all lined up because we mean business here. Today I have them rated, we'll go into that. But they sent me over a ton of different samples. I actually picked out a few that I've been wanting to try, but a kind member at Twisted Lily, they picked out a few samples for me as well. I gave them the time of year that I was getting married, which is spring, my kind of vibe, my favorite scents, and she picked out a ton of things for me. I am so appreciative to the Twisted Lily team because they sent me over I think 7 samples at first, and then I asked if I could try a few more and they sent me over some more. So I am so thankful to them because I feel like sampling is such a good way to go when you want to buy a new fragrance, especially if you are buying a niche fragrance that has a hefty price tag. You want to make sure that you sample your fragrance, and I knew I did not want to blind buy a fragrance as well because this is going to be a big day for me and I want to make sure that I really like the perfume that I picked out. Twisted Lily offers a ton of different samples. Their site has a lot of niche fragrances, a lot of some fragrances you can't really find in department stores sometimes, which I really like. They also do have curated sampling sets, but you can pick out your own samples as well. So it came in this box. The team also wrote me a really nice handwritten letter. They are just so nice at Twisted Lily. And I think I have over 15 samples if I'm not mistaken. So let me tell you guys what I am looking for in my wedding fragrance. First off, which is the most important, the bottle has to be pretty. I know, I like to display my fragrances. I really want the bottle to look nice. Extra points if it's kind of bridally, white, gold, whatever. Second is I want to feel feminine and sexy when I'm wearing it. I'm not necessarily looking for specific notes. I was pretty open to whatever scent. I'm pretty open to whatever notes is in the bottle. I'm not really picky. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to scents is clean fragrances. And what I mean by that is very soapy fragrances, or fragrances that smell like shower gel or shampoo. I'm not a huge fan of fragrances that smell like that. Some of my favorite fragrances, if you guys are curious, are Atomic Rose from Inicio. I really like Black Saffron from Byredo. I also really like Sundays by them. I also do like Valaya from Parfums de Marly. I love Delina, all the girls love Delina. I love Oud Satin Mood from MFK. That is I think Oud Satin Mood and Atomic Rose are my top 2 favorite fragrances. So that's the kind of vibe that I like. I like rose, I like oud, I like vanilla, and I do like citrus and floral. So I kind of like everything. I think the lowest for me is probably very soapy fragrances, just to give you guys a heads up of what I like. And my fourth rule was my fiance has to like it. So normally I don't care if he likes the fragrance because I buy fragrance for myself, but I do want him to like it because when I do wear it again, I want him to think of that day and you know me. So to make this video a little bit more cohesive, I did smell these fragrances previously, but I smelled them like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had my fiance rank them so that way I can give you guys the ranking of like a male's perspective. So I'm gonna go through all of them, then I'm gonna show you guys my top 5 and then potentially the one that I'm going to be wearing. I'm also gonna throw the notes up on the screen so you guys can see exactly what's in them. Okay, so the first one I have here is from Xerjoff. This is called Dama Bianca. This one I actually requested to smell. This bottle screams bridal. Like, it is a, what is it, matte white. It has a gold top, but this bottle just screams bridal. So some notes in this are lily of the valley, vanilla, cedarwood, musk. This one is really pretty. I would say this is definitely more powdery. You do get that vanilla, but I feel like it's more powdery and musky. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. This fragrance reminds me of a fragrance that I used to love from Marc Jacobs. I believe it was called Decadence or Decadent. It was like this little purse perfume. If you've ever smelled that, that's what this smells like. The note in this that's very heavy is the kumquat. I personally have never seen a kumquat in person, I don't think, but I think that's what I smell the most. And the lime, citrusy but powdery. It is also a little bit floral. I do think this would make a perfect bridal scent. My fiance personally gave this a 4 out of 10, which I was pretty surprised. But I really do like this. I will say when this dries down on the skin, it leans more of like a skin scent, which I do want it to pop a little bit more. Also, another thing is I am not really too picky on the longevity of this fragrance because I do plan on bringing a travel spray with me of it and reapplying it. So I'm okay if it doesn't last that long. But I think that this is a fragrance that I would definitely need to reapply because it does dry down more of like a skin scent, but still really, really nice. I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Okay, so the next one is Opus Core from Wilhelm. This one has notes of Sicilian lemon, raspberry bloom, magnolia, and sandalwood. This, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like, only because it smells like a shampoo. It's very watery. It smells like a watery strawberry scent. And it just reminds me of hair shampoo, which is nice. It's like very clean, but I don't really want to smell like that on my wedding day. You know, I want to smell sexy and like feminine and sophisticated. This smells like fresh out of the shower, which is nice, but that's not really the vibe I'm going for. My fiance actually gave this a 9. He really liked this. So this is Opus Core. So this next one is Tilia from Marc Antoine Bourrois, I believe it's pronounced. This brand I have never smelled before until I got the sample. So this has notes of lime, heliotrope, vetiver, orange blossom. This to me is very nostalgic because this smells like carpet. This smells like carpet freshener. Like, you know, if you have carpet and you like powder, like that powder that you put into the carpet and then you vacuum it up and it's supposed to scent the carpet, this is exactly what that smelled like to me. And this reminds me of when my grandmother used to like clean on Sundays and the whole house would smell like this. So this to me smells more of like a home fragrance. This is very floral and powdery. It's not a bad scent, but I think that memory for me, that's exactly what I think of, that stuff that you sprinkle into the carpet. Nice, but would I wear this on my wedding day? Probably not. And my fiance gave this a 7. So the next one is Elysium Pour Femme. This is from Roja. I actually smelled this one, I think last year in Saks. So this has notes of blackberry, mandarin orange, peony, and cedarwood, and ylang ylang. This is really pretty. This is very fruity. It has a lot of fruit notes in there. This reminds me of an Escada perfume that my mom used to wear. It doesn't smell like matronly or old, that's not what I'm saying, but that's the memory that I get of it. Very fruity. This is really pretty. I actually really like this a lot more now that I'm smelling it. My fiance gave this a 7, but now that I'm smelling it again, I really like it. I feel like I didn't really like it at first because I wanted it to be a little bit more like sexy, like have more musk or something in there. But this is actually really nice. I think that this would make a really nice wedding fragrance. This is really good actually. Okay, so the next one is Tuberose Astral from Maison Crivelli. They have another fragrance that's very popular. I believe it's the hibiscus one. And this one has notes of cinnamon, tuberose, and vanilla. Very sexy perfume. This is very heavy in cinnamon. My fiance gave this a 6. This is like a very heavy, like heavy scent. I do like this, but it is a little overwhelming, if that makes sense. I think this is a little too overwhelming for like a spring day. But would I wear this? I would wear this for like date night or something. Okay, so the next one is called Nuit et Confidence from Goutal. I'm also gonna give my bottle ratings on here. I'll write them on the screen because I keep on forgetting to talk about them. So this has notes of black pepper, bergamot, which bergamot is actually another one of my favorite notes in fragrances, as well as orange blossom, vanilla, white musk, tonka bean, and incense. I really like this. It is a little bit more heavy in the incense, but I feel like the vanilla kind of rounds it out. This reminds me of like a smoky cocktail, not kind of like whiskey or something. I don't know, it's like very rich, the flavor. It's like oak, like very, you know, woody. I really like this. My only thing that I don't like about this is the bottle. It's the bottle with the pom-pom. It does not scream bridal. And I know you're thinking like, that doesn't matter, but to me, it matters. So this is a little bit lower for me because of the bottle, but this is a really nice scent. This kind of reminds me of, the vibe reminds me kind of like of Oud Satin Mood a little bit, or like Black Saffron. And my fiance gave this a 3. He did not like this actually, but I really like this. It's just the bottle that I don't like. Okay, so this next one is from a brand that I actually have not tried before. This is from Usaver, and this is Sintra. So this bottle, it's actually not spraying for some reason. I'm not sure, I think I might have dropped it, but I do remember what it smells like. So the notes in here are bergamot, lemon, mimosa, lavender, sandalwood. My fiance gave this a 2 because to me, it kind of smells like Lucky Charms, like sugary, not necessarily powdery. You get a lot of that bergamot, which to me kind of smells a little bit more, yeah, it smells like Lucky Charms, marshmallowy, but you do have that citrus in there. I actually really like this. I think this smells really good. I'm sad that it's not coming out, but yeah, he didn't like this because it was a little too sweet, but I really like how this smells. Okay, and the next one I have is Delina. You guys know I love Delina. This has lychee, peony, rose. I think there's vanilla in here too. Beautiful, beautiful scent. I think if I didn't already own Delina, this would have been very high on my list for a wedding fragrance, because when you smell this, it smells pretty, it smells feminine. The bottles are beautiful from Parfums de Marly, the women's collection. This is so good, and it smells really good during the spring and summer. It actually smells good all year round. I would wear it all year round. I think the only thing about this is the lychee on top is very sharp, so it's like a little bit tart, but I think this is such a good fragrance. If I didn't already own this, this would be a top contender. Okay, so the next one I have is called Pas Ce Soir from BDK. I first saw these fragrances, I think it was a few months ago, so I'm not really familiar with the brand. So this has notes of ginger, mandarin orange, jasmine, orange blossom, which orange blossom is one of my favorite notes in fragrances, and it also has black pepper. So this smells really good. The opening of this, you get a lot of that black pepper. but to me it smells like tea. I'm a huge fan of tea scents. I'll actually show you two of my favorite tea scents. So this one is from Tambourines. This you can actually only get in Korea, but this is called White Darjeeling, and this is the fragrance I was actually wearing when I got engaged. If you want to smell something very, very similar to this, I would try the Matcha 26 from the Labo. These are pretty much identical. The only difference with the Tambourines one is I feel like this one leans a little bit more feminine. It's a little bit more like sparkling, if that makes sense, because there is a note of champagne in here. But this and the matcha are pretty much the same. So I really like this one. And then I also really like Roses Vanille from Montserrat. I actually got this one from Twisted Lily. And I think if I did not already own this fragrance, this probably would have been my wedding scent. Like, this is such a nice scent. It smells like black tea, but with roses and a little bit of vanilla. A lot of people compare this scent to MFK's Gentle Fluidity Gold. This is actually one of my first niche fragrances, and they do smell similar. I feel like the MFK one has like the juniper berry in there is very sharp. A lot of people compare these two. They are similar, they're definitely not identical, but if I were to pick one over the other, I would go with Roses Vanille. And BDK's Pas Ce Soir reminds me of like that tea like scent, just like Roses Vanille. So Pas Ce Soir is right up my alley when it comes to fragrances. I feel like I would wear this even if it wasn't for my wedding. It just smells that good. And when it dries down, it has this like warmth to it. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of get honey in this as well. It kind of dries down, like, you know the smell of, have you guys ever smelled shea butter? How it smells like nutty, but also kind of warm. It has a similar scent in this fragrance, and I really like this. My fiance gave this a 9, and I also do like the bottle too. If I get a little more zoomed in and zoomed out, it's because my battery's overheating. But yeah, so the next one is Bianco Latte. I smelled this a year or so ago, and this was immediately on my wish list because if you love vanilla, like gourmand, this is right up your alley. So this has notes of caramel, vanilla, white musk, honey. This is really, really nice. My fiance gave this a 7. And oh, it is such like an intoxicating smell. The only reason why I don't want to wear this is because I feel like too many people own this. I feel like it's not special enough to wear for my wedding day. I feel like it's kind of all one note. It's very caramel and vanilla. That's kind of it. Does that make sense? Like, even though I feel like a lot of people will love this, I think this is a very crowd-pleasing smell. I don't think it is unique enough or like special enough to wear on that day, but very, very nice. Like, if you love gourmand, if you love vanilla, you're going to love this scent. Okay, so the next one I have is actually from Xerjoff as well, but they have different lines within their, what's it called, like brand. So this is Elle Anniversary, and I was actually really excited to smell this because the bottle is very pretty. This like is so bridal, it's so pretty. So the notes on here are lychee, red fruits, peony, sandalwood, bergamot. And when I first read the notes, I was like, I'm gonna love this because a lot of those notes I already love. But when I sprayed this, I was a little disappointed. When you first spray this, for me, it smells like hairspray. Like, you know when you get down to the bottom of the hairspray and you spray it, that kind of like aerosol can smell? That's what I smell. And I think what that note is for me is the licorice. I think that's why I don't like this, because I am not a huge fan of like a licorice scent. I think that's why it kind of smells like aerosol cans to me. Underneath it, I do get a little bit of that green apple, so there is a bit of fruitness to it, but that licorice scent is so overpowering to me that I can't get over that. I've seen so many reviews and people love this scent, and I really, really want to like this, but I cannot smell past the licorice at all. Even when I sprayed it on my skin, you do get a little bit more of that green apple, like on my skin. It does smell a tad more fruity, but that licorice is so like overpowering. And I was really upset. But my fiance really liked this. He rated this an 8. Okay, so I have another one from Zerjoff. This is actually called Lyra. I actually asked to be sent this scent. So this has notes of bergamot, cinnamon, lavender. This also has licorice in it as well, and it has caramel. This to me smells like iced lemon cake. This smells so good. I really don't get the licorice in this, which is very interesting. This I really like, but it's a very light scent. And you know what's so funny? There's no lemon in here. I think that kind of lemony note to me is the bergamot, but very pretty. It's like, it has a tartness to it, which I really like. I feel like this would make me feel like very sweet and feminine. I think a lot of brides would like this, and I think the bottle is pretty as well. For Lyra, my fiance gave this a 9. Okay, so the next one is from a brand that I haven't tried either. This is Lise, and this is called Choo Choo. So this has notes of whipped cream, lemon zest, vanilla, caramel, mocha, cocoa, and salt. This one is very popular on TikTok as well. I think people describe this as a very gourmand scent. This smells like those sugar cookies with like the thick icing on top, but like with a little bit of lemon on it. Does that make sense? Or you know what? It also smells like those like assorted Italian cookies, and it also smells kind of watery. I'm not a huge fan of this. Like, it smells like a stale cookie. I don't know. I feel like this is likable, but I think since I don't like those cookies, that's why I don't like the scent of this. But nonetheless, it's a nice, like, airy, sweet scent with a little bit of like lemon zest on top. But would I wear it for my wedding? Probably not. For Choo Choo, my fiance gave it a 9. So the next fragrance is from House of Beau. This is called Bonbon. This is another popular scent. So this has notes of lily of the valley, lychee, bergamot, marshmallow, cognac, which is very interesting. It has like a liquor note in there. This is another one that smells nostalgic to me. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of playing outside, but like near the fence where the flowers were. It doesn't smell like outside, like dirty, but it smells like very floral. I think it's the lily of the valley in there. The lily of the valley in this is very strong. This screams bridal. Like, it screams you are getting married in the park surrounded by flowers. This is such a pretty scent. I don't really get the cognac in here, but I do think the cognac adds a little bit of sharpness to it. This to me does not really lean sweet. It's very floral, but this is such a pretty scent, and I think it makes it even better because this is like, it smells nostalgic to me. It smells really good. For Bonbon, my fiance gave this an 8. Okay, the next one is called Tres Cher from Mise Cyr, I believe it's called. So this has notes of orange blossom, actually has C notes, bourbon, vanilla, and Australian sandalwood. This I don't like. This smells like an office. Like when you're walking around an office and you get whiffs of people's perfumes, this is kind of what it smells like. It's like very just, there's nothing really special about it. I do think that this is actually a very popular scent on TikTok, but I don't really like it. There's nothing very special about it to me. My fiance actually gave this a 10, which is very surprising, but I don't really like this. This is another one that kind of has that like aerosol smell to me. I think it's the C notes, probably like that sea foam smell, which I could, like if I close my eyes and I smell this, it kind of smells like ocean air. Like kind of salty, you know, airy, a little bit aquatic. This to me leans a little bit more clean, but I don't really like this. Okay, so now for my top 5. I would have to say Delina. I think packaging wise, it is so pretty. This just screams bridal, floral, fruity, feminine, but I already own this one. Next one is Dama Bianca. This one is a little bit more softer, more skin scent, so I feel like if you don't want the fragrance to be too overpowering on your wedding day, I think that this one would be nice. It's light, it's airy. Next up is Lyra from Xerjoff as well. This is like very fun and light. This when I smell this, it makes me feel happy because it smells like iced lemon cake. It just smells like very happy and upbeat. Next is Bonbon from House of Beau. I think I like this one because it's very nostalgic, and that Lily of the Valley smells really pretty. Like I said, it smells like you're walking in a park filled with flowers. I feel like this one screams bridal. And the next one is Possessoir from BDK. This, I just feel like it's just perfect. It is just literally perfect. It's got tea notes in there, which smells so good to me. It has floral, but it also smells sweet at the same time. And oh my god, I just love the way this one smells. Okay guys, so if I were to pick, which I did actually pick, I'm going to have to go with Possessoir from BDK. This just screams me. Like, I feel like this is a fragrance I would wear regardless of it being my wedding day. It just smells so good. I feel like it smells like me, but it also still smells special. It has everything that I want in a fragrance. And my fiance really likes it too. He rated it a 9. And the packaging on this is nice. It's nice and neutral. It's got a little black top. It still has some white in there, which I do like. Overall, I think I'm going to do Possessoir from BDK as my wedding scent. Oh my god. I'm so excited. It smells so good. Okay guys, so that is my sampling video from Twisted Lily. Thank you so much again to the Twisted Lily team for sending me all these samples. I really want to do more of these sampling videos because I feel like it kind of gives you a good idea on what to buy, and you can test out before buying niche fragrances, because I have been doing some blind buying. I feel like having samples is really helpful, especially when you're going to be spending a lot of money on a fragrance. So thank you so much again to Twisted Lily for sending these over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your bridal scent is going to be, or what your bridal scent was. I'm very curious. I'm also going to do a bridal scent video for spring bride, so I'm going to show you guys some fragrances that I already own that I think will be good for wedding season. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.